Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. My wife gave me a challenge today to find and photograph a gray horned owl. I not only found a gray horned owl in a short amount of time, but I also found another owl. So I want to share my tips and techniques from the research to the sounds to listen for, to the signs that there are owls in your area. And this can be applied for not only the gray horned owl, but other owl species. So stick with me till the end. I'm excited to share what I've found. If you're new to this channel, my name is Shannon and I'm a full-time photographer in beautiful British Columbia. Whether you're here to learn, be inspired, or simply enjoy some stunning visuals, you've come to the right place. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this.
Hey Matt, what you working on?
Just working on some photos for a new YouTube that I'm going to be putting out here.
I got a challenge for you. Find and photograph some gray horned owls.
Like today?
Yeah. What are you gonna do first?
Okay, the first thing, I'm going to quickly check weather. I mean, it looks pretty good out there.
Second thing, how are you gonna find them?
What I'm going to do is there's an app called eBirds. I'll check on there, see if anyone's posted anything about the gray horned owls and their sightings. I'll also check online quickly because you never know what sort of stories and stuff that have popped up, and there's also other bird forums. And then we're going to pack up the gear.
What time of day is best?
Well, evening is usually best. That way they're kind of waking up. They do their calling a lot of the times to one another. Seems like evening is the best time.
Okay, time's a ticking.
All right, so the weather, we got a little bit of rain. Okay, so the weather looks good.
What you got there?
Okay, this is eBird. So we go into the search here, and I'm going to select species, and I'm going to type in great horned owl. Now the gray horned owl is fairly common, so birders and stuff don't mind putting them up here. Rare birds can be a bit harder to find if people don't want to share their locations, but take a look. Let's edit this. This is in the last 14 days, and there's...
It's blurry.
Well, I'll put it up on the screen, but there's owls everywhere, and there's some pretty close to us, so we're going to start there. So I found a few articles just in my hometown here. I mean, the dates are a little bit different, but if you can get articles where they're talking about nesting owls, gray horned owls mate for life. And when they're ready to go ahead and nest, a lot of the times they'll use the same nest, come back to the same area. So even though this might be a different date, this one's last year, 2023, I can go back to that location and check.
Time's a ticking. What gear are you gonna bring?
Okay, first we'll pick a backpack. So I got these two backpacks. This one's 70 liter, and we're kind of shooting locally, so I don't mind the bright colors. I don't think I need to get super camoed up.
When would you use the other backpack?
So the other backpack is nice and green, so it can be hidden. And then the other one is a little bit smaller than this one. This one's 70 liters. So look at all that space that I have in here. I can switch out this insert to put in there to still add this big honking lens. So this is my 500, and check it out. So that fits up in there. I shoot Nikon, so I got the Z9. We'll put that in the bottom here.
What are you gonna bring for a tripod?
So I got my travel tripod, and I've got the big one. So we're gonna go with the bigger one with the video head, so I can take video and photos. But I'll bring this one just in case. I can always swap the heads. For gear, we also want to bring binoculars, walkie-talkies, because you guys are coming.
Yeah, we'll come.
So this allows us to stay connected. So I got two of these that have been charged. I might bring my 1.4 teleconverter, so that's an f4 lens. So this will give me that extra reach. Bring some gloves, a little cold outside. I have this is a mini little tripod if I needed to bring it for my second one, but my lovely wife here is going to be carrying that. And then I also have this little grip here so I can use my phone as a secondary camera, extra batteries, that sort of thing. So Anyways, that's enough gear talk. Let's get going. I also got like tea, and we got like...
Oh my goodness, Matt. How long do you think this is going to take?
Well, you never know if we need some tea or something like that. But, okay. All right, let's pack up. This in there. I'm Batman. Excited to go?
You crossing the river. What do you see?
Whitewash. So all this poop everywhere. If you look up in the tree, it's a great perching spot for an owl to be sitting. So it wasn't a gray horned owl, but a barred owl. I returned here the next day, and look who was up in the tree. Now we also want to be listening for birds squawking, because when they see an owl, they'll send off like alarm calls. Even hummingbirds will just like make their little pss, pss sound, and they'll buzz around where the owl is. I don't hear anything here. But this poop is a great indicator. Can you hear the hummingbird? There's Anna's hummingbird up there. Cool thing is about those guys is they kind of follow the same pattern, and they'll a lot of the times pick the exact same branch to sit on and do their calls, or yeah. Anyways, we're searching for gray horned owls, so let's go. Yeah, so I'm just looking up in the tree branches. There's kind of this snaky little stream here. Great water source. There is fish in here, there's crayfish, there's rats, plenty of food here for them to eat, so. All right, do you hear me? Do you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Owls don't have a great sense of smell, but they do have acute hearing and can hear sounds 10 miles away. They can change the shape of their facial disc to funnel sound into their ears, helping them hear about 10 times better than humans. The ears are located on the side of their head, not under the tufts of feathers at the top. The right ear is higher than the left, giving the owl a sort of depth perception of sound. Owls have great eyesight. They can see only in black and white, but their eyes are as large as humans, and they're 35 times more sensitive. They can see objects about 5% the amount of light that a human requires, which is great for night hunting. Owls cannot move their eyes up or down or side to side like humans can. Instead, they can move their head around up to 270 degrees. They have 14 neck bones as opposed to humans, which only have 7. Owls bob up and down and puff up to attract their mate. The lifespan of a gray horned owl is somewhere between 15 and 25 years in captivity. The average gray horned owl has a 4-foot wingspan and only weighs 5 pounds. Much of their body mass is feathers, which is incredibly light. It would be embarrassing if
you were going to fall.
I fell into this little creek.
That's why I'm
Do
filming.
the walk of shame, all mucked for the walk home. I can't go any further. It's pretty thick here. So I'm gonna head back to the trail and go around. My wife says that there is bird action over this way, so I'm gonna check it out. Okay, we're off to another location, another park that has, some trails and then areas where we can kind of meander off without having to like really bushwhack. The last place that we were at didn't find any gray horned owls, but we did see a barred owl like way up in the tree, and all that poop and stuff was from what I believe is from the barred owl in that area. So we'll check out this other spot, and it's also indicated on eBirds, but the date was like I think 7 days ago. But in the past, I think this has been a good spot to see owls, and the habitat is perfect for it, and perfect for nesting as well. So excited to see what we can see. So these, I guess, techniques or tips can be used not just for the gray horned owl, but for other owls, barred owl, short-eared owls, snowy owl. You can use, eBirds to kind of see whether or not other people have seen them, as well as looking online for their habitat, whether they're migrating, coming through. You can see the times of the year. Here on Vancouver Island, British Columbia, there's a lot of owl species that you can see all year round. And just kind of checking off those things off the list by just doing a little bit of research, you can really up your odds and narrow down sort of the areas and where you can find them. So the gray horned owl are early nesters. It's like still winter. We're just about to get into spring, and they're known for stealing nests. So they might steal hawk nest, ravens, crows, even eagle's nest from what I read, and they'll make it their own. And they might have their young, and they might all fledge even before other birds have used the nest. Like eagles, I think, are around April, May here in Canada. So this is great news if you're looking to find nests. There's no leaves on the trees. You can look up into deciduous trees and see if there's a nest that's up there. And then you can also look at nests that other birds have used, hawk nests, that sort of thing, and those are the first place that you want to maybe check. And then here it's quite common to see like broken off tree trunks, like trees that have just snapped off in the wind, which have a nice platform for the gray horned owls to nest in. And at nighttime, or just before it gets night, like blue hour, this is when you're going to hear them calling, especially when they're looking for a mate, or if they have their mate, which they mate for life, and they're communicating with one another. Maybe one sitting on the eggs and incubating them. Anyways, they're going to be calling to one another, and that's like an easy sign that, oh, there's a gray horned owl in this area. But we're almost here. Hopefully we can find it at this location and show you some of my camera settings and techniques for photographing these beautiful raptors. Some poop down here. I don't see any pellets. Oh, check it out. Look at what that's been eating. See all the teeth? Bones? All right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool seeing this pellet down here. And this is the tree right here where it roosts. So I don't see the owl right now, but it's definitely close, and I can hear some birds actually squawking over this way. So looks like deer poop. Looks like deer poop right next to the bones. So this is like a deer trail maybe going in through here. But great signs. Very cool. There's more deer tracks in through here. Here's a lot more poop. It's splattered everywhere. You can see it all down through the layers down through there. Lots of owl poop. Okay, so for camera settings, I'm gonna put it onto continuous, so like 20 frames per second. Sometimes I'll have the screen out, sometimes I'll have it in. I also wanted to set it onto a bird mode, so I'm shooting with the Nikon Z9, and their latest firmware has bird detection. So since it's owls, I'm gonna set it onto bird. What other things do I need to know? I'm shooting manual with auto ISO, because as the sun's going down, I want my ISO to kind of float, but I want to make sure that my shutter and my aperture is locked in. I might shoot it wide open at f4, depending on how far I am away from the owl. And then my shutter speed could be slow if it's just sitting there roosting, but if it poops and kind of ruffles its feathers, especially the pooping part, that might be a clear indication that it's going to take off. So I want to make sure that I quickly ramp up my shutter speed. And since I'm in auto ISO, I don't have to worry about the rest. It'll just fill in the blanks. I also wanted to mention that I've got a workshop. Actually, I got a few workshops. If you want to join me and another professional photographer, we're going to be photographing here on Vancouver Island, giant trees, waterfalls, some waterfalls cascading into the ocean. And we're going to be learning composition, and it's very exciting. I have other workshops that are happening soon. So where should they go? Go to mattshannon.ca/workshops if you want more information and to sign up.
How many spots are available on that one?
Oh, so the one on Vancouver Island, I think I only got a couple spots left. So email me if you're not sure about any of the details, how to get here, that sort of thing. It will be pretty cool. Yeah. All right, let's get back to photographing some owls. You got to go to see some family for a little bit, right? So it's just my wife and I out here looking for a great horned owl. We found a lot of great signs, including a huge pellet. So I think we're in the right area. I haven't heard anything except for some birds. There are robins out here. Some of them have been squawking, so I went over that area. But it's really good light right now. It is changing, like we got some thinner clouds that really help out with like soft lighting. So we're getting closer to a sunset, and this is the spot I think we'll see them. Kind of everything points to it. The map, the habitat, plenty of food. I mean, this is the great horned owl. In North America, they're widely spread. They're quite common, but they're hard to see. When you look at the bark of these trees, they can just blend right in. Just seen the great horned owl as we were walking down over on the other side. It flew up into the tree over here, and so we're gonna just set up here. The sun is gonna start going into some soft light, soft clouds, and that'll be perfect for kind of some conditions to take some photographs. We might lose it, so I'm gonna set up there, kind of be really quiet. So she's just sitting there right now, and if I feel like she's gonna fly, I'll bring the shutter speed way up, say 1600, and my ISO will just go ahead and move accordingly. As you can see, the exposure is the exact same. Now I'm kind of shooting up into the sky, so I'm going to try and walk around, but I could brighten it up just like that, even if the sky is blown out for at least this demonstration. But yeah, watch my shutter speed. As I move it, doesn't really matter, the exposure is always the same. So what's important is that my shutter is going to capture the action. So if we go into my modes here, I am doing area mode, full area subject detection. I am doing the bird here because I'm shooting birds. AFC, I'm shooting raw. And my metering is just matrix, so I'm metering everything, which is why I use exposure compensation, and I'm at +3 because there's a lot of sky there that I need to go ahead and counterbalance. Now I could use spot metering on the owl, just pick it on the owl, but as soon as I move my composition and my point moves somewhere else, it might meter completely different. So I'm kind of on a downhill, so I'm gonna walk up, try and give it plenty of space, and then photograph it from the other side because there's some hills up this way. Okay, I'm gonna try and go up from the other side. I got a long enough telephoto lens that I could probably capture it on that branch, but at a different angle. Ooh. Exciting. So, great horned owl. The challenge has been complete. We can get up to eye level with this great horned owl. So I've got my Nikon Z9, I've got my 500mm, and we're gonna crawl in. The one thing that I'm gonna wanna make sure is that I've got my VR set to normal, not tripod. Usually I have this on a tripod, and I did bring a tripod right here, but I'm just gonna go in and get really low to the ground, kind of set everything up, and I could even just kind of laying on the ground take some videos. So wish me luck. Now, what I'm gonna wanna do is just allow the owl to get comfortable to me moving, a little closer. He's grooming himself and just relaxed. So I don't wanna rush all the way in. I wanna gradually go in, take some shots, because that might be the best I get. He might decide to fly off or do something else. But now this area there's hikers and people walking by. So they're used to people, but so I don't want to press my luck. So I think I'm close enough. I'm gonna try and take some shots. And if I need to, I'll grab my tripod to do some video as well. So let's see what we can get. So my wife is now photographing right here. We took some turns with the branches, kind of shooting through them, framing the owl. Now you could probably hear some traffic and stuff. Like, this is a good sized park, but it's surrounded by, there's houses and homes, and so it makes it easier to find owls in areas like this. So once there's a couple of spottings, it's like the owls aren't traveling from one park across town to another park, typically. So once you get sort of a sighting of an owl in a park, generally you can kind of keep coming back to that park and you can find the same owl species. So I want to do more of these challenges. Let me know down in the comments if you got a challenge for me. I'm thinking when I was chatting with my wife about doing these kind of series is like, her coming up to me and say, I got a challenge for you. I want you to take an amazing picture of a robin or of a crow, like something that I wouldn't challenge myself to do because I'm looking for maybe bigger animals, something with teeth, something that is cool, it's not common. These challenges really help sharpen my skills as an instructor, as a professional, and I encourage you to get out and maybe try some of these challenges as well. So if you like this content, please give me that thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed, think about subscribing. If you want to see more content on owls, I've got more owl videos here on YouTube. I've got videos that'll just pop up here, so check them out, and I'll see you on the next episode.